Well, hello. It's a beautiful day outside today. We're at Christian Scott's house. Christian Scott, you want to tell people a little bit about you?
Sure. Yeah, so I've been attending Fairview Village for about 3 years now. Know these guys, a lot of other people through our marriage group, and also I've been helping out with the youth group for the past few years as well. One of the first things, I think, one of my first connections was talking with John, Pastor John, about helping out with the youth group, and ever since that first week, I think I've been attending that. So
amazing. So when did you come to the village?
I came to the village, it was, I think, October 2021. I had just moved here and I was looking for churches, and I was, doing the thing that everyone does. You go to one church and you see how it is, and you're looking online and Googling, that kind of thing. And I think Fairview was maybe the third or fourth. I don't quite remember, but yeah, that was when it was.
So what made you decide, all right, this is where I'm going to land?
So what made me first come was the good photos of all the staff, actually.
The headshots.
Yeah, because I was like, they care about getting people to know you, and they care about having you know who everyone is, and they obviously put time into their pictures and all that stuff. Anyway, so I just thought I'd come, try it out. And then I came one week, and it was the welcome lunch week. And I talked to Pastor Dave Bennett during lunch, and then I said I would like to do youth group if I was ever going to volunteer, and he said, oh, well, let's just introduce you to John. And so 15 minutes later, he introduced me to John. Fun fact, John's brother and I both played soccer at the same school, much different years, but the same school, so a lot of connections. And then that night, I went to the youth group, where I met Max.
Your first Sunday.
First Sunday.
Came to youth group.
First Sunday I went to youth group, where I met Max, who was a childhood friend that I hadn't been in touch with for years, and it just seemed like there were so many things that were happening that was like connections, and I was like, this has got to be the place where I should be staying. So
that's amazing. So You showed up your first Sunday, you came to welcome lunch, started serving immediately that night.
First night it was more fun for me. And
you're just
I was a student the first night.
Yeah. So how'd you said you were in Harry's marriage group. So Harry, you want to just quick 30-second, what is your marriage group about?
Yeah, married couples. We have a few with kids, several without kids. We meet Wednesdays. It's really a group where we do life together. We do different outings every month together, events, and then we meet and talk about Jesus or some other church-related thing every single Wednesday.
Yeah. Nice. So Christian, you started going to that group, and what have you I don't know, what's your biggest takeaways from going to the marriage group?
Going to the marriage group, I'm going to say something that's super cliche that everyone hears every time that they do it, but firstly, you're going through life with people that are around similar life eras, I guess? Stages of life, although they can be maybe they're more newer married, and maybe you've been married for a few years, or maybe they've been married a few years more and they have kids, so you get to see the whole different spectrum. And it gives you an opportunity to talk to other couples and experience spiritual maturity or have questions with other people who are in a similar scenario. If you're not a part of a marriage group, how often are you talking with other couples about how their spiritual walk is, or questions that they have, or things? So it opens up the door to those conversations and those relationships. So, yeah.
Yeah, so you think connect groups are important?
Oh, yeah, I think they're...
Yeah, good. How long did it take you to get plugged into a connect group after you got to church?
I don't know. I mean, youth group obviously was the night, but that's not a connect group. Harry, I don't know when... I mean, I went to the young adult one on Tuesdays, if that's connect group, which I think it is. Mm-hmm. We went to that for a while, and then I don't know when marriage group started.
It was pretty early on, I feel like, that you came. You were the fourth couple that joined. So, back in the early days.
The foundation. Just kidding. Yeah, so the fourth, and I remember then it was, there's so many nights a week because there's so many things happening at the church. I think we transitioned out of doing the young adult thing, and we went to the marriage couple group, and that's where I think the connect group that we've spent the most time with since. So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Obviously, Harry wasn't the youth pastor, the high school youth pastor. Did you start in high school, or did you start serving in middle school?
High school. Okay. Started high school with sophomores, freshmen, sophomores.
Now that you are not only in a connect group with Harry, but you're also serving with Harry, how much do you like Harry? How much do you like Harry?
One thing that I love about Harry is that his ability to grow hair and have it in all different styles as well.
Yeah, that's true.
I can never do all the styles that Harry does.
Yeah, every time we shoot a video with Harry, or every time we take a picture of Harry, the next time he does something else, he looks completely different.
That's true. I got another haircut coming soon, so keep an eye out.
Next time he's on camera, he's gonna look different again.
Completely different. Yeah.
What is it like serving? I know Harry's like a pastor and you're a volunteer,
Right.
a leader in his ministry. So what is it like serving alongside someone that you're also in this Connect group with?
I think you just get to see them in different lights for one way, but you also get to grow. Like Harry, as a pastor, as a leader, like he has so many things to contribute, and God's working him in so many ways, and it's good to hear and see what he's doing for example, the high schoolers or the middle schoolers, and then you can emulate that in some ways, right? Because I'm definitely not perfect, and we all have strengths and weaknesses, and Harry's really good at providing practical things that can teach kids how to like more about Jesus or spiritual walks. You can learn about that, right? You can see him like, wow, that's a really good way of saying that, or that's a really good way of doing that. And at the same time, in a marriage group, it's more of like a peer-to-peer setting where you get to like just chat about each other's lives and learn more things. So I guess that's an answer to your question.
Yeah. Do you feel like you've gotten closer to Harry since
sure.
you're serving with him and you have this group with him?
He just offered to move my plates around if I needed help.
Aw,
because I'm on my crutches right now.
crutches.
So.
We're pretty much neighbors, so anytime he needs me, I'm here.
It's like a quarter mile away or something.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. I think it's so important. Your Connect groups, the way that they can kind of shape not only like your life at church or on a life at church on a Sunday morning. So like you guys, Sunday night, Sunday morning you're together. Sunday night you're together serving.
For sure.
Wednesday night you're together for group. So like I think God's got a lot of room to like have like real transformation in your relationship together,
Yeah.
as well as everyone else. I don't know if anyone else who serves in your group serves in youth, but I know like some of them serve in Kids in the Village together. Some of them serve different places together.
Yeah.
So I think that's so important and so good for our relationships to be kind of fostered in the service as
Right.
well as in Connect groups. So I think that's cool. So you were telling me recently, Christian, about a service opportunity that you had at Fall Retreat
Right.
with the youth, with
Yeah.
Harry. So you have like a pretty cool God moment that happened at Fall
Yeah.
Retreat. You want to share it?
Sure. So for anyone who might not know, every year we have a fall retreat for the youth, middle school and high school, and we go off for a weekend and we have a bunch of fun. We do a bunch of sessions where we learn about Christ and what he did for us and learn and get to know each other and everything. And it was during the third session, I think, when your friend was speaking, you
Yep.
went up after he delivered the message and you offered everyone to just have an opportunity to get baptized if they were feeling led. And it was a really cool opportunity. One of the kids went up and got baptized, and everyone's celebrating and all that stuff, and everyone's excited. And then I just felt the urge to pray for more kids to get baptized, basically. And so I prayed for another one. I felt like, who was it, Abraham in the Bible, when he was praying to God, he's like, well, would you do it if there was 50 righteous men in the town? What about 5 righteous men or things like that? And I prayed, what about, could we just have one more kid get baptized? And so another kid went up. And then I'm trying to remember the order at which it was all in. But then there was a couple kids next to me who I was standing next to. There's like a group of 5 or 6 who are kind of quietly over here. And I just prayed for 2 of them to get baptized. And then 2 of them went up and got baptized. So that's 4 now. And then I prayed for, it was another one of the guys get baptized. Someone else got baptized. And I prayed for one of the girls to get baptized, and they got baptized. And then I felt this urge to pray for one of my senior guys, because my group in youth group is the senior guys right now, and I was praying for one of them to go up and get baptized, which is kind of an odd. I mean, most of them have been baptized, if not all, and I know them very well, and I didn't have there wasn't any context beforehand that made me think, this kid wants to get baptized this weekend. I just felt this urge to pray for one of them. And basically right after I finished praying, one of them had come up next to me and tapped me on the shoulder and said he wanted to get baptized. So it was just kind of crazy. It was like, as I prayed for people, they went up. And
yeah.
It
So it was like specific people groups that God was showing you to pray for these people.
Yeah. And I actually wrote them all down as well. Because as I was praying, I was writing all the names down. But unfortunately, that night we did the skit. and someone picked up the paper. They thought it was trash, and they threw
Oh,
it away.
no.
So I would have had that. I could have shown proof. but-
Yeah, well, I believe that you have receipts. So what did that do? Obviously, God was moving among the youth that night, but what did that do for you in your personal walk?
Well, we often pray for things, and we're told a lot that, you pray for something, God will always answer, but it doesn't always say yes. And then secondly, you might pray for something, you might not see the tangible result of it immediately. And sometimes, though, I think God really He takes enjoyment, and when I was praying for something, it was happening immediately. And it was a really, really tangible way of saying, I'm here and I'm working, and I want you to see that I'm working right now.
Yeah.
And then I answer prayers. And it was just really cool. One of my guys asked me, he said, well, why did you stop praying? If every time you prayed, someone got baptized, you could help our numbers. But I just, obviously, the guy, I was talking to my senior guy at that point, but it's just a reminder that he does. And I think he does take joy in just giving us these gifts.
Mm-hmm.
Like, here, right now, I'm going to answer your prayers and you're going to see it. It's going to be super tangible.
Yeah.
And you're not going to be able to deny it because you're asking for this and I'm going to give you this right now.
Yeah.
Within 5 seconds of praying. There it is.
Yeah.
So,
It's a great reminder to look
Yeah.
back on for those moments where we need them.
for sure.
Yeah.
Sometimes, I guess that's always how it is, right? We're always supposed to remember God's promises and always supposed to remember and reflect on our own experiences, and that's one that I'll remember.
That's awesome. I like that I know it got thrown away, but I like that you wrote it down too. That you
Yeah.
wrote down what happened. Do you journal a lot?
So when I often write when I pray.
Okay.
So I have a book upstairs, and if you were to go through the book, it would be one half is my devotional entry, and then the next half of it is what I'm praying after the entry. So I often write when I pray. So that was just my habit.
Nice.
So that's what I was writing.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah.
Do you go back and look at those, or?
Sometimes I do, not super often, but I should. It's one of the reasons, though, that I do write them down, so that who knows how many years in the future you can look back and you say, what was I working through right now? That would just be really interesting and see what's changed.
Yeah.
Or see more answered prayers.
Or
Yeah.
see that as well. Yeah.
Coffee!
Cheers to Jesus and coffee. You made that well.
It's okay.
It's good.
I was multitasking. Decent for multitasking.
I don't know what coffee's supposed to taste like, so yeah, it's good.
Hey, you're not a coffee
I
guy.
don't drink coffee ever.
Did you take a sip?
I did. I did.
All right, GG's.
Good night.